Afternoon guys, sorry for the sort of wait between videos. I've had quite a bit going on recently. One of the main things is I've just bought my first house. So the reason for this video today is, unfortunately, and I can't believe I'm actually having to say it, my car is now going to be for sale. So this video really is sort of just to say goodbye to it, to really sort of enjoy the last video with you guys and let you guys have a look at it, and to actually advertise my car as well. I'll put the link in the comments below, in the section below, with all the modifications and everything that's been done to it, and all the information on the car as well. But yes, purchasing my new house, unfortunately my car has to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you guys around the car again. Obviously, as per my previous videos, I'll run through the modifications very quickly with you as well, but really this one's just to sort of show it off. Starting off, start off with the Team Dynamics Pro Race 1.2 wheels in gloss back. I've only just recently had these refurbished, so they are pretty much brand new. They are shod in Michelin Pilot Sport 2 tyres. The fronts are good for about 4 or 5 mil, the backs are only about 6 months old, so they have got loads of tread left on them, so you can rotate them around. As you work your way around the car, got the little mounting badge still on there from when I had the MP215 kit on the car. I've left it on there because there are a few mounting parts still left on the car, and it looks quite nice as well. Also, the gloss black ST badge instead of a standard red, which didn't really stand out against the orange paint. Moving down, we've got the Miltech exhaust. Now this is a turbo back system. It's non-resonated, so it's a little louder than the standard one. Costs just under £1,000. It's about 950 quid brand new. And as you guys know from previous videos, it sounds brilliant. So in the sunlight there, you can really see the pearlescent paint popping. It gets detailed once a fortnight. I actually pay a professional detailer to come out and clean it at my property, and then once a week I give it some maintenance washes as well, which is what I've done today. I've just given it a little tidy up as it was a little dirty. But yeah, visually from the side and the rear, that's what it looks like. Moving around to the front of the car, you've got the R Composites front splitter, which is about 150 quid's worth. Again, it comes in gloss black as standard, which suited the rest of the car. It goes with the alloys, etc. And then down there at the very front, you can just make out the AirTech intercooler. So it's a front mount intercooler, good for anything up to sort of 270, 280 brake, I've been told. The car is currently running 245 to 250 brake. So that has got more than enough life left in it for a few more bits and bobs, should you wish to play around with the car. What I'll do now is I'll pop the bonnet and I'll show you a couple of mods from under the engine. Okay, so moving under the bonnet, so you've got the ST engine cover, which I haven't done anything with. I haven't painted it, I've just left it as standard. In there you have your J1 automotive induction kit, brand new. That's about £350, so it's not cheap. Oh, look, a couple of cheeky leaves in there. It'll come with those as well if you want it. So that is the J1 automotive induction kit. Sounds great. In there as well you've got a Ford blow-off valve, which is an atmospheric blow-off valve. And again, it's got to add some of that turbo chatter when you are revving it out. Okay, then moving inside the car, you've got your ST embossed seats, which are Recaros as standard. These are the grey ones as opposed to the black and orange. These are black and grey, which I think look a hell of a lot nicer than the orange ones, unless you want to be a little bit out there. Moving inside the car, you've got all your gauges in the centre with your forward start-stop button. Foot on the clutch, push the button, fires it up. So currently, even there, with all the mods, 245 to 250 horsepower, we're getting an average MPG of about 31.4. Putting your foot down, driving like a bit of a lunatic, it will drop down to the low 20s, mid 20s. However, driving normally, bit of fun, bit of sort of bearing your foot, you will see sort of low to mid 30s. If you're on a really decent run and you're sort of cruising at sort of 60, 70 mile an hour, it will creep up and touch 40 as well. So this being the ST2, it does come with satellite navigation. So you can input your destination there, postcode, etc., and it will take you to your destination. Really quite simple to use. It's on about a 4-inch screen, so it's not the biggest screen in the world, but it does the job. I've never had any problems with it, and everything is up to date as possible where it's been serviced and bits. Being the ST2, you get the Sony head unit as well. Very confusing, loads of buttons, but it does sound good. All Bluetooth, so you can stream all your music wirelessly through the car, as well as take phone calls as well. You've got your Bluetooth on that side. Unfortunately, being an ST2, it doesn't have the cruise control on the opposite side, but with the types of journeys that I do, and to be honest, when you've got this type of car, it's not the sort of car you leave with your cruise control running. You are driving it hard and you are enjoying the vehicle. Okay, so on the move now in the Fiesta. The Miltech does sound really good. As I said, it's a full turbo back system, so it is literally the most sort of unrestrictive system you can possibly buy as a bolt-on factory add-on. At lower speeds and sort of lower revs, it's not intrusive. It doesn't sit there and drone away at you as you're driving along normally. It really is a very on and off sort of exhaust. You can boot it, and all the noise, all the turbo whistle and everything like that is there. If you just want to drive along steady and you're heading to work, or you know, whatever it might be, you're just not in the mood for it, it does settle down when you're in sort of 5th and 6th gear as you're cruising. It does settle down quite nicely, and it can be as intrusive or as unintrusive as you want it to be, basically. Dropping it down a couple of gears, so if you put it to 2nd gear, we'll have a quick 2nd gear pull for us. Into 3rd, you can hear the J1 Automotive induction kit hissing away there. It gives a bit more induction roar as well, as opposed to the standard airbox that comes with a car that is very restrictive. And as you let off the accelerator, you can hear the forge blow-off valve making all those swooshy noises that an induction kit should do. So we've got a nice little bit of straight road here, 2nd gear pull for us. So you can hear the turbo chatter as you get up to about 5,000–6,000 RPM and you let your foot off the accelerator. You do hear it hiss and sort of burble as it releases all the air. But yeah, this car is completely different to a standard Fiesta ST. I bought it completely stock, riding on standard springs, standard wheels. Everything was completely stock, box fresh out the factory. Everything that has been done to this car, I have done. I've bought every single modification from new, and I've had it fitted at Devil Developments, which is based down in Littlehampton. Great place for anybody interested in fast forwards. Very well known in the area, sort of churning out some ridiculously powerful fast forwards. Yeah, this car is going to be sorely missed, and unfortunately, due to buying a house, my girlfriend and I have decided that it's probably going to be best if we let the car go. It's done me really well over the last sort of couple of years I've owned it, and as I said, every modification that's been done to the car has been done by myself, so I know exactly what's gone onto it. I have got the receipts for all the mods as well, and I can, you know, I can run through it with you and show you all the mods and stuff that's on the car. So main ones obviously are the Revo Stage 2 map, followed by the Miltech turboback exhaust, going on to the AirTech intercooler, which I had done in gloss black to match the wheels and the front splitter and stuff like that. You've got a Mountune rear engine mount, which is like a roll restrictor, which is sort of recommended for anybody who's looking to go beyond stage 1. It does help with that engine roll. As you're changing gear, it makes for a smoother smoother gear change. You don't feel the car lurch as much as the engine rocks backwards and forwards. The car is lowered. I have already taken off the coilovers. They have already been sold. I had a friend who was looking for a set for his Fiesta ST, so they have been sold. However, the car is still lowered as it's now back on its mounting lowering springs, which are EBAC 30mm lowering springs, so the car is exactly the same height and looks exactly the same as when it was on the coilovers. And to be honest, it drives pretty much the same as well. There's very little difference between the two. The coilovers gave a slightly harsher ride, but other than that, visually there's no difference between the two. After that, obviously you've got the Team Dynamics wheels, got the induction kit. I've also paid for the mounting quick shifter as well, so the gear shift throw, if you like, is shorter than standard. It's probably just under or just over half the distance in terms of throw. So if it was like a couple of inches before to go from say 3rd to 4th, it's now just over an inch. It feels a little bit more notchy, a bit more sort of rifle barrel. It really is a nice slick gear stick to use, and yeah, it just improves the driving experience. Again, every little thing that's been done to the car just helps improve that driver sort of sensation, making you feel more connected to the road, and just gives you a more enjoyable driving experience, really. So one of the main attributes of the car is it's a proper little B-road blaster. We've got a nice little straighter road here and a few nice little twisty corners, so drop it down a gear, drop it into 3rd, get your foot down, instantly the torque's there. Instantly we've caught back up with that traffic. There was a couple of 100 metres ahead in no time at all. I mean, yeah, from this versus a standard car, yeah, there wouldn't really be any comparison in terms of outright pace. This car has easily kept up with and sort of embarrassed cars that you would have thought would definitely leave a Fiesta ST anyway. It's the Mark II Focus RS. A friend of mine's got a standard one, and you know, without going mad on a public road, there was no way he was losing me on some tight, twisty B roads. It wasn't until we got onto some straighter bits that he started to pull away from me because of that extra power advantage. But up until then, it's so nimble and it's so chuckable. You can literally throw it into any corner, and it feels like it's on rails. It just sticks, which is exactly what you want in a small hot hatch. So guys, that is my car. 245 brake horsepower, molten orange Fiesta ST. It's on a 2013 plate, and it has covered 34,600 miles from new. So it's national average to what it should have been done really for its age, maybe a little bit under. I think national average is about 12,000 miles these days, so it's slightly under what it should have been covered. Full service history, MOT is good for another sort of 9-10 months, and the exhaust and everything passes all of that absolutely fine, no problem at all. But yeah, I'm gonna be sad to see it go. It's been great, literally loved every second of it, and I've spent God knows how much money. I think it was just under £5,000 on all the modifications when I've tallied it up, and yes, selling it now does seem like a crime, but unfortunately it has got to go. If anybody is interested in the car, please do comment below. If you need any further information, again, let me know and I'll get it emailed over to you. In terms of arranging viewings for the cars, not a problem at all. Evenings, Wednesdays or Sundays are my days off. I will put the adverts. The advert is an Auto Trader, it's on piston heads. I will put both of those links in the comments below as well, so you can read it, as well as a list of modifications. But yeah, I would love to see it go to another Fast Forward fan. I want it to be looked after. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Thanks very much for all your support on the last few videos as well. I'm glad you've enjoyed them. Sorry I haven't been able to do more over the last few months. I've been completely flat out with everything to do with buying a new house. I'm sure at some point in the next few months I will be buying another car, and I will hopefully it might be another Ford. It's going to be fast, whatever it is, and it will be featured on this channel.